Greatheart Leader Labs, in association with PwC, present a Greatheart Interview with Chris Brassell from PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Hello, I'm Chuck Shelton, the Managing Director with Greatheart Leader Labs. I have the good fortune today to be speaking with Chris Brassell, the Director of the U.S. Office for Diversity at PricewaterhouseCoopers. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks, Chuck. Thanks for this chance to speak with you.
Good to have you here. We're often asked the question, so how did you get involved with this? Because we're a bit of a novelty. Tell us a little bit about how you got into this work.
I have to think about a story that takes me back all the way to maybe the 5th or 6th grade. And you know, I played sports like most children did, and I had a chance to play in a number of different competitive basketball leagues. And my father just so happened to be my coach. And one of the things my father did, even though we grew up in a white middle class upbringing, my father took me out of the standard league, and he actually had me play in a league in North Philadelphia, which was about 45 minutes away from my home. But more importantly, it was on a league that actually had me as the only white individual on my team. And years later, my father told me that, you know, I did that for a reason, and I did that because I knew that you were going to develop muscles that you didn't even know you had. And he said, you know, only part of that were your basketball muscles. Right. The other part was this idea of cultural dexterity, of actually putting me in a situation where I was the only one. So in essence, I was, by that exposure, forced to, if you will, integrate and build cultural dexterity. And it just was a significant part of my life that I think was the backbone for the work I'm doing today.
With a blue chip company like PricewaterhouseCoopers, what's the business motivation for their willingness to invest, in listening so carefully to their white male leaders?
We started by having conversations with our white male partners and listening to their point of view. Our partner, we in a partnership obviously depend on the perspective and the points of view of our partners, in many cases, to shift and define what the culture is at PwC, and we recognize that, and we want to embrace and leverage the position power that they have, and by listening to their point of view and engaging them in this conversation, we stand in a much better position as it relates to sustaining an inclusive culture at our firm. One of the things that we have found quite effective is actually to encourage engagement, encourage involvement, encourage active and visible leadership in this space because of the individual benefit, and what we call it is cultural dexterity. And that is the skill to be able to interact and to connect and to coach and to lead and to integrate with your clients that may not necessarily look like you or reflect the demographic dimensions that you reflect. And that's an extremely important leadership skill that we feel at the individual level actually allows individuals to be distinctive among their peers. And ultimately, if enough of us are doing that to become distinctive against our peers, then ultimately we can become distinctive as a firm in the marketplace by having a number of leaders that are visible champions for diversity and inclusion. So cultural dexterity, sometimes it's also known as cultural fluency, so it's literally the ability to speak another language, to be multilingual in this space to the point where you establish such confidence and courageousness, right, to be that authentic leader that maybe someone else isn't.
The study on white men leading through diversity and inclusion is launching this year. PwC's been really key to the launching of the project. Tell us a little bit about what you expect to learn from the study.
I think one of the things is just to learn about how we benchmark against outside organizations in this space. I think we also want to leverage the opportunity that we have as a pioneer in this space, and certainly getting connected to Greatheart Leader Labs and your role as a principal and Dr. David Thomas's role as a principal as well, I think is going to provide us with a significant amount of opportunity for us to enhance and to sustain the brand that we've already established in this space. So that's certainly a benefit that we look to get out of this as well.
Great. Well, thank you. I know I can say for sure that one of the things that inspires me is you. and the work that your company
Well, I
does,
appreciate
to invest in inclusion.
For more about PwC and the White Men's Leadership Study, go to whitemensleadershipstudy.com.